let's do our review for Aquaman 2. So, Ash, you haven't seen it. I envy you. So, me and Byron have seen Aquaman 2. It's the end of the DCEU, for what we know. So, me and Byron have seen it. Byron, just on the top, what do you think of the end of the DCEU with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom?
I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm not really surprised. I am a big fan of the first Aquaman movie from 2018 or whenever it was. I think it was at the time and maybe still the visually best movie of that universe. So obviously, being a fan of the first film, I was reasonably excited for the for its inevitable sequel. I think I got a little bit scared of the early reviews of critics walking out of the theater halfway through. Um, but when it finally released after multiple pushbacks, um, I thought I'd give it a go because obviously it is the DCEU. I need to finish that universe. It's not the ideal conclusion to a 16 movie universe. I think I give the first one a 4 out of 5. I think it's great. Uh, this one, unfortunately, I gave it 2.5 to. Note that it is at a reasonably high 2.5, but I was just expecting a little bit more. Unfortunately, outside of Jason Momoa's Aquaman, which I believe this is officially going to be his last outing as that character. Thank you, Jason Momoa. He was the best part of this movie for me, and the acting as a whole, I think, was very good. Um, outside of outside of their performances, I don't think this movie does anything new, doesn't do anything special. It comes off very generic. I think it takes everything from its first film and just puts it down a level, which resulted in a pretty mediocre movie. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and I hope James Gunn can uh, do a good job with it in his new DCU.
Yeah, I echo everything you say. Yeah, James Gunn, you got a low benchmark. So I'm very curious. Sorry, I'm very curious to see what he does next. It's not the worst film of the DCU. It's not. I had fun
No,
watching it. I
definitely not.
wasn't bored. I wasn't bored. I had fun watching it because of how bad some of it is.
Mm.
Um, I thought the best part of the movie was the dynamic between Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson. Thought that was good fun. The whole story, the villain's terrible, just terrible. It's awful. It's like, what's this weapon made out of? Oh, it's made out of evil. What? But I said this in my review. I wasn't sober while watching this. The crab guy, played by Jonathan Rhys Davies, aka Gimli, stole the show. Every time he appeared, it's just like this random giant crab. He's like, "Yeah, I lost my claw." You're like, "Yeah, awesome. This guy's great." Um, the movie looked like it was cut to hell, which it was because of the whole what's her name? That got cut. Amber Heard with her trial and stuff. That got cut to hell. So she's in it. You could tell, but she's very much like a background character, and every now and then she just appears in scenes. But you're like, just keep the original cut. To be honest, like I don't think anyone's going out to see Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom because of Amber Heard. I'm just saying. Um, yeah, Jason looks like he's having fun, which is good. The action's good for the most part. It's just a giant CGI fest, which like that's not really a criticism. That's just what modern superhero movies are. But just the story's a mess. It's just all about another group of people trying to attack Atlantis just because they want to, and Jason Momoa has to find a way to defeat them, and that's kind of it. But the whole dynamic between like that, I think, was the fault of the editing flaw. Is they made this whole aspect about Aquaman being or Arthur Curry being a father and this new father and like how his whole life has changed because he's now got a kid. But the dynamics between him and the kid, like there's no scenes where it's just like no bonding scenes. It's like, oh, I'm now a dad, but we see it like 3 4 times throughout the entire film, and that's supposed to be like a central plot. I do think that is cut on the editing floor because I think it must have had heaps of scenes with Amber Heard. and that was cut. So again, not really judging that. It's fun. It's just a turn your brain off sort of movie that you just leave your brain at the door. But it just gave me nothing. It's just very lazy plot line. The villain is awful, but you go in there knowing it's going to be a CGI fest Aquaman movie. You can't really be looking at it for best original screenplay. You can't really be looking at it for the best acting performances. Jason looks
No
like he's having fun.
excuses.
No excuses. That's true. That's true. Hey, Ash has just fucking flamed you fuckers. But yeah, no, it's very true. But I don't know. Jason looks like he's having fun, and the dynamic between him and Patrick Wilson was great. And the weird fucking octopus, hell yeah, he was great. There's this random weird octopus that just has way too much sexual tension with everyone. It's just yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought Randall Park was completely out of place. He's just this random scientist that's just along for the journey. And he gets asked, he's like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "I love science." End of sentence. And you're like,
Wow.
great character development. But it's the end of the DCU, so you go in there not expecting much. Like, I'm not going in there with any expectations or hopes. I'm going in there to literally tick a box, to be honest. But I had fun while watching it. I recommend watching it sober, because you're gonna literally fly through Atlantis, which is good fun. But some of the action's great, and Jason looks like he's having fun. So well done. Thank you, Jason, for your time. Rest in peace. I also gave it 2.5.